ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरेन्द्रगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं। सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। On the account of Shankara Jayanti, we were seeing Adi Shankara's last shloka. According to tradition, Sadhana Panchakam or Sopana Panchakam, it is supposed to be the last shloka of Adi Shankaracharya, wherein the Acharya condenses the entire teaching, right from Karma Yoga to Jnana Yoga. He condenses how a person should lead a life into these 5 verses, and each verse has got 8 steps. So there are 40 steps that we all have to climb, and that is what the Sadhana Panchakam says. And this is very, very important because now we can reanalyze ourselves and we can ask this question to our own selves: on which step I am standing today, and what are all the steps that I have. So we can reflect upon ourselves, we can reanalyze ourselves, and we can also reorient ourselves. That is the beauty of this Sadhana Panchakam. We have already seen 2.5 shloka in the Sadhana Panchakam. We will just quickly see those shloka because we did not have class for 2 weeks. We can quickly recap and then we will see the new shlokas. Basically, in the first shloka, Adi Shankaracharya says, hey, do karma yoga. Karma yoga, swadharma, following swadharma is called as doing karma yoga. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, swadharmo nidhanam shreyaha, paradharmo bhayavaha. Hey Arjuna, your own dharma, following your own dharma is nidhanam shreyaha. It is always shreyaskaram. Paradharmo bhayavaha. If you take to others dharma, because Arjuna, what did he say when when Bhagavad Gita was starting? Arjuna basically said, "Hey Krishna, I cannot kill all these people because these are kith and kin. I have my fathers. I have people who are who are worthy of considered to be my fathers. I have my own guru. I have my brothers there. I have my brother-in-laws there. I have my friends there. I cannot kill all these people. So I am going to take to begging," said Arjuna. And Krishna says, hey Arjuna, you being a Kshatriya, your first and foremost dharma, your swadharma is to upliftment of dharma. You have to protect dharma, Arjuna. So you have to take to war. Krishna says, swadharmo nidhanam shreyaha, paradharmo bhayavaha. And that is what Krishna says in the first shloka, do karma yoga. What is karma yoga? Vedo nityam adhiyata. Learn Vedic scriptures. Learn, know your scriptures. If we are born into this eternal, beautiful dharma, we definitely need to know the original, root cause, the original scriptures of dharma. I am in science, and in science, we all say You have to update your knowledge. You have to update your knowledge. But it is our exercise to go back and see the paper where they proved DNA is the hereditary molecule. Even though it is not going to be needed now, even though we have all those advanced technique, but we still go back and see, hey, DNA, how did, Watson and Crick prove DNA has got double stranded helix? How did they prove DNA is the molecule that takes up the genetic information? We still go and see, because we are in that field, we have to know. In the same way, if we are the followers of Sanatana Dharma, even though we are seeing lot of people who practice Sanatana Dharma, even though we can learn from all those people, but at least out of curiosity, go to the original scriptures. Vedo nityam adhiyatam, taduditam karma swanushthiyatam. Don't be just, an ஏட்டுச்சுரைக்காய் கறிக்கு உதவாது. Don't stop yourself with reading the scriptures. Also follow what the scriptures say. கற்க கசடர கற்பவை கற்றபின் நிற்க அதற்கு தக. Follow what those scriptures says. Tad uditam karma swanushtiyatam. And teneshasya vidhiyatam. Do not do all those karma for the sake of its phalam, but do those karma as bhagavatarpanam. Kayena vacha manasendriyirva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai Srimannarayanayeti samarpayami. Whatever I do, I offer that unto Bhagavan. With that knowledge, with that attitude, do your karma. Teneshasya vidhiyatam apachitihi kamye matistyajatam. Whatever the binding desires I have, whatever the binding desires I have to renounce all those things. Not only binding desires, also papam. Papa ughav paridhuyatam. Refrain from doing papa karmas as enjoined by the scriptures, also as the law of the land says, as the ethics of the current situation. Refrain from doing papa karma. Bhavasuke doshonu sandhiyatam. At least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 steps everybody has to follow. Here is where the real Vedantic study is little by little being injected. I do karma that is enjoined in the Vedas. I am being an ethical person. I am being good to all. But am I going to my goal? Because whatever I think that is going to support me when I need them, they all are going to break. I think having lot of money is going to help me in my end, but no, money is not helping. I think having good health is going to help me. No, your health is going to decrease. I think I have a lot of people. I have lots of friends. I have lot of family. Yes, friends and families are there, but at one point of time, whether we like it or not, they all are going to go away. Only, whatever the things that I think will support me, they all are not going to come to us. Learn that bhavasuke doshonu sandhiyatam, and then I will see, okay, whatever the things I thought it's going to support me, they are not coming for my support. Then who am I? Can I have an external support or an internal support? Atmecha vyavasiyatam. Constantly seek to know about your own self, and in that process, Nijagrihat Turnam Vidirgamyatam. Break your boundaries. வரம்பொழி வந்துள்ளை கூடுமினோ நாடும் நகரமும் நன்கறிய நமோ நாராயணாயவென்று says ஆழ்வார். Break your mental boundaries, break your physical boundaries. Go start learning things, says Acharya in the first shloka. So the first shloka is basically Karma Yoga Pradhana. Okay, once I do all those things, I have to enter into Jnana Yoga. How to prepare oneself for entering into Jnana Yoga. If I have to go, if I have to study medicine, if I have to study MD, then I need to write certain exams. I need to prepare myself in order for studying that knowledge, right? Just for MD, for MBBS, I need to prepare myself. What about Atma Vidya? I need to cultivate some qualities among myself, right? So the second shloka is basically preparation for Jnana Yoga. In the last verse, he says, Bhavasukhe doshonu sandhiyatam. Okay, everything else, it has got a problem. Only my own swarupam is one which does not have any problem. How to learn that? Sangasatsu vidhiyatam. கூடியிருந்து குளிர்ந்தேலோர் எம்பாவாய் says ஆண்டாள் have satsangam satsangatve nissangatvam nissangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischalatattvam nischalatatve jivan muktihi says acharyal in bhajagovindam. So have a satsang sangasatsu vidhiyatam bhagavataha bhaktir dridhadhiyatam. Have dridha bhakti upon Bhagavan. Whatever Bhagavan gives to me, I take Bhagavan, I take those as Bhagavat Prasadam. If we go to temple, you know, Margari month, you go early morning to temple, they will give you nice chuda pongal, which will have mundiri paruppu, which will have nei, but the same pongal is also going to have pepper and ginger. If I get mundiri paruppu, I will be so happy. But what if I get pepper and ginger? We don't spit that. We don't say, we don't complain. The same attitude with which we eat that cashew, with the same attitude, we will also eat that pepper and ginger because it is Bhagavat Prasadam. In the same way, whatever the incidences that happens to me, whatever the situation that Bhagavan puts me into, whether I like it, like the mundri paruppu cashew nut, or I don't like it, like the pepper and ginger, I have to start accepting everything as Bhagavat Prasadam. Bhagavataha Bhaktir Dridadhiyatam. Then Shantyadif Parichiyatam. Cultivate Atma Gunas that are, prescribed in Bhagavad Gita. Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, Shraddha, Jnanam, Vairagyam. These are the Atma Gunas. Cultivate those desirable qualities, those Daivi Sampat qualities, and Dridhadaram Karmashu Santyajyatam. Renounce all of your binding actions. Those actions which we think are must in order to get happiness. I wake up in the morning at 5:30 a.m. Whether I brushed my teeth or not, I need a coffee. This is a habit for most of us. But next time I go to doctor will say, hey, you have so much sugar, don't even think of drinking coffee. Or you have this, doctor will say a lot of stuff. Or everybody will have their pet peeve. So we think that certain things are absolutely needed for my happiness, but unfortunately it is those things which are bad for us as well. Some things are sukham, but those things that are sukham, they may not be hitam to us. So renounce all those binding actions, those actions that we feel I have to do it in order to be happy. And remember, we all can live without drinking coffee. We all can live without doing those things that we think are important for our happiness. Basically, do not give the keys for your happiness to somebody else. Because if we think only if and only if I do that thing, I will be happy, then the key for your happiness doesn't remain with you. It is on to somebody else's hands. That is the first thing that we need to take. We need to own up our own keys to the happiness. Dridadharam karmashu santyajyatam. Next 4 lines are very, very important in order to get jnana. Sadvidwan upasrupyatam, approach a proper guru. Tadvitti pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinah parikshalokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayat nastyakrita kritena tatvijnartam स गुरुमेव आगच्छेत समित्पाणिः श्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं. Do not attempt to read Vedanta by your own means, because you will end up in a mess. It is like trying to read quantum theory by your own self. We cannot learn, we cannot understand. It has to come from somebody else. So approach a guru and learn from that guru by doing Guru Seva. Pratidinam Tatpaduka Sevyatam and Brahmaikaksharamarthyatam Tadviti Pranipadena fall on Guru's feet. Pariprashnena Sevaya, ask good questions to the Guru and do seva to Guru, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. That's what here Acharya also says. Pratidinam tatpaduka sevyatam. Do Guru Pada Seva and learn that knowledge. What is that knowledge? Brahma Eka Aksharam. Learn about that Brahman, which is Ekam, which does not have another thing, which is non-dual, and which is Aksharam, which is going to be a constant support for you. Whatever other thing that you are taking as a support, they all are going to be Ksharam. Ksharam means declining. If not now, at a later date, they are going to decline. Only Brahman is Aksharam. Brahman is never going to decline. As your own self, you can safely depend upon Brahman for your happiness. Brahmaikaksharamarthyatam. How? Shruti Shiro Vakyam Samakarnyatam. Learn about Brahman by listening to Upanishadic teaching. Guru will say Tat Tvamasi, Sishya will think, Sishya will understand as Aham Brahmasmi. Those are Upanishad Vakyam. Understand those Vakyam. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam. For some people, just listening to those Vakyam, Tat Tvam Asi, they don't have to do anything. Just listening to Tattvamasi will give them jnana. Just like Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi says in Aksharamanamaalai, பெயர் நினைந்திடவே பிடித்திழித்தினை பிடித்து இழுத்தனை Arunachala. He says, hey Arunachala, just listening to your name. His uncle only said, I am coming from Tiruvannamalai, I am coming from Arunachaleshwaram, and Ramana Bhagavan went into Samadhi just by listening to the name. Some people, just by listening to the Upanishad Vakyam Tatu Tvamasi, some people will get jnana. Uttamadhikaris will get jnana. But for Madhyamadhikaris, for Mandadhikaris like us, we have to do something. We have to enter into Jnana Yoga. We need to analyze the meanings of Mahavakya. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam. What is a Mahavakya? We are going to see. What is Mahavakya? Acharya in Viveka Chudamani, he is going to take Tat Tvam Asi. This is a Mahavakya. Tattvamasi Shvetaketo. This is a Mahavakya that comes in Upanishads. Acharya is going to take Tattvamasi and he is going to analyze the Tattvamasi Mahavakya in Viveka Chudamani itself. That is going to be our next topic in Viveka Chudamani. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam, Shruti Siraf Pakshas Samashriyatam. Stick to the teachings of Upanishads. Upanishads are called as Shruti Shiras. Shruti Shiraf Pakshas Samashriyatam. Dustargatsu Viramyatam. Don't resort to unsupported logic. That is, don't ask questions just for the sake of asking questions. Shruti Matas Tarkonu Sandhiyatam. Just because we said that, it does not mean you cannot apply your own logics. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, for 17 chapters, he speaks. But at the end of the 18th chapter, Krishna says, hey Arjuna, I have told you what I think is good for you. Now that you have all the knowledge that you are needed, analyze those knowledge logically and follow with what you think is good for you. So in our Sanatana Dharma, logic, analysis is given most importance. We definitely don't say, hey, just to follow this for the sake of following, or just to follow this because your ancestors have followed that. Follow this if it makes sense to you. Have an open mind. I can only teach you, but you can follow it if it makes sense to you, if it appeals to you. Shrutimata starko no sandhiyatam. And the next four lines is very, very important. After attaining Jnana Yoga, up until the first four lines, Vakyarthascha vicharyatam, Shrutisiraf pakshas samashriyatam, Dustarkats viramyatam, Shrutimata starkonu sandhiyatam. All those things comes as Shravanam and Mananam. Shravanam is listening to the teaching. Mananam is understanding the teaching after clearing all of our doubts. And the third and the crucial step that gives us moksha is nitidhyasanam. Do a constant contemplation of Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Swami Paramarthananda says, whenever there is a concert going on, we have seen lot of musical concert, there is going to be a tambura shruti. And whether the singer sings or whether the singer does not sing, whether the singer is taking a break, whether the pakavadyam is going on, whether the taniyavardhanam is going on, there is one instrument which does not take any rest in the due course of musical concert, and that instrument is tambura shruti. And whatever the song is being played, it is adjusted to that tambura shruti. In the same way, we have this constant tambura shruti at the back of this mind. Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. And whatever the situations that we face, we have to stick to that tambura shruti and face the situation. Just like how, whatever the song the singer plays, whatever the music the pakavadyakaras play, they all will very strongly stick to the shruti box. Even Vedas are called as shruti because of this reason. Shruti is shravanam, what is to be heard. Have that shruti of Aham Brahmasmi, constant contemplation of Aham Brahmasmi, Brahmasmi iti vibhavyatam. And just because you know Vedanta, and just because the other person does not know Vedanta, do not have a pride. Everybody will have Vidya Garvam. Whatever, the Vidya Garvam that we have, it might work in the other fields, but in Vedanta, Vidya Vinaya Sampanna, says Bhagavad Gita. Vidya Dadati Vinayam. I think it is the motto of one of the IITs. Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Vidya, it should give you Vinayam. You should not be very, very proud that, hey, I went into this much Upanishads class, I went into this much Brahma Sutra, I finished this, I finished that. Swami Paramarthananda says, it does not matter how much Upanishads class you went to, what matters is how many Upanishads got into you. That is what really matters. Aharahar garva parityajyatam. And Deheham, Deheham mati rujyatam. After listening to all the Upanishads, if we still think that we are our body, it is not going to be of any help. So do not listen to Vedanta as a passion. Do not listen to Vedanta as a hobby, but listen to Vedanta by putting all the concepts that you have learnt in Vedanta into practice. Dehe hammati srijyatam. Next, Buddha Janairvada parityajyatam. Just because you know Vedanta and just because the other person also knows Vedanta, do not stick to small details. Okay, which came first? Karma or jnana or bhakti. Bhakti is not needed, jnana is not needed, karma is not needed, only aham brahmasmi is needed. Don't do sandhya vandanam, don't do any karma. No, do not resort into all those practices, because this is what is happening these days with people studying Vedanta. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita clearly says, Nabuddhi Vedam Janayet Ajnanam Karma Sanginam. There are going to be a lot of people who are going to be Ajnanis. There are going to be a lot of people who want to do karma. Let them do karma. Let them be Ajnanis. We have taken these many janmas to come up to this level. So even they will also come up. Do not, do not force your ideas onto those people who cannot digest those ideas. It will be like, hey, I have finished masters and I go to a 8th grade student and I'm trying to convince whatever I have learned onto him. He is just not ready, and he will not going to stay there forever. He is going to come up, but do not force all of your PhD, all of your masters ideas onto an 8th grader. In the same way, do not nabuddhi bedam janayet bhudajanair vadah parityajyatam. And next, after attaining jnana. So in shloka 3, how to enter into jnana yoga, and after how to enter into jnana yoga and how to behave while being in the process of jnana yoga is explained. And in shloka number 4, what should I do after attaining jnana? Okay, I understand that I am not this body. I understand that I am Brahman. What should I do? Shastra says, Kshudyadhischa chikitsyatam. You have to treat the disease of hunger. Shastra, Adi Shankara equates hunger to a disease. Just because I have attained jnana does not mean I can do whatever I want. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says, Yadyat acharati sreshtaha tattadevetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. Just because I attained jnana does not mean I have to renounce all the acharas. It does not mean I have to renounce my sandhya vandanam. It does not mean I have to renounce my puja. Why? Because the other person is going to look up to me. The Sishyas are going to look up to the Guru, and if the Guru does not do Sandhya Vandanam, Sishya is definitely not going to do the Sandhya Vandanam. For Guru, Sandhya Vandanam might not be needed, but for that Sishya, because he is not, he is not into that level, he is not into that mental maturity, for that Sishya, doing Sandhya Vandanam is very, very important for his Chitta Shuddhi, and the Sishya will look up to the Guru. Guru does not do it, I am also not going to do it. It is not going to help. You have to follow some ethical thing. You have to follow some rules and regulations. We see Mahaperiyava. For Mahaperiyava, he is a Paramahamsa Parivrajaka. He doesn't need to do anything, but he is stuck to all the concepts of acharas, all the rules of achara. Why? Because of this reason. And another reason is that, this jnana yoga is like a small plant. Whenever we plant, a small sapling, what do? We put a fence around that sapling. Why? Because even though the plant is going to be there, after the plant has grown into a banyan tree, nothing is needed to protect the tree. But while the tree is growing, while the sapling is growing, it is going to be subjected to a lot of problems like water, wind, or some goat will come and eat off the tree. But if it has grown into like a banyan tree, nothing is going to be a problem. But at that stage, in that small stage, all those protections are needed. So whatever the rules that are here, that are given here, are like that kind of protection, or like that fence that we put around the banyan tree. banyan tree sapling. Even though after the sapling has grown, it does not need any protection, but initially it needs a lot of protection. In the same way, even though I am in Jnana Yoga, even though I understand that Aham Brahmasmi, even though I disidentify myself with the body, I have to follow these rules, because lot of things are there that are going to be disturb me. And what are those things? Kshutvyaadhischa chikitsyatam pratidinam bhikshaushadham bhujyatam. He is comparing hunger to a vyadhi, and he is comparing food as a medicine. Oshadham means medicine. Bhiksha aushadam bhujyatam. Treat your disease of hunger. Do not eat a lot. What does it mean? Food and hunger and food, they are just a representation of your sense objects and sense pleasures. You indulge in some sense pleasures, it does not matter, it is not going to be a problem. But overindulging into anything is going to be a problem. So whatever the food that you eat, food for the mouth or food for your thoughts or food for all your sense organs, have limited have limited food. Kshutvyaadhischa chikitsyatam pratidinam bhikshaushadam bhujyatam swadvannam natu yachatam. Do not long for sensory satisfaction. Literally, swadvannam natu yachatam, meaning do not beg. Yachana means beg. Swadhu means tasty. Do not beg for tasty food. But it does not only mean the physical food that we eat. It also means all the sensory perceptions, all the sense pleasures that we take on. Swadvanam natu yachatam vidhivashat praptena santushyatam. Be happy with what you have. Be contented with what you have. I have today, Bhagavan has blessed me with this. I am going to be happy. I am not going to complain. If I have a power cut, I am not going to complain. Maybe we can understand is that, okay, maybe my karma wants me to suffer. By suffering, I am reducing my papa karma, so let me suffer. Vidivashat praptena santushyatam. And next is very, very important. Sitoshnadi vishahyatam. Maintain equanimity in all the situations. Matra sparishastu kaunteya sitoshna sukhadukada agamapayinaha anityaha tam titikshasva bharata. He Bharata, he Kaunteya, he Arjuna, matras parushastu kaunteya sitoshna sukadukkada. If you have a sense organ, it is going to experience both pleasure and pain. If you have a sense organ, if I have my eye is going to see the things that I like, but my eyes is also going to see the things which I don't like. It does not mean I can just close my eyes, which I don't, in order to not to see which I don't like. It is going to be there. If not for eyes, it is going to be there for your nose. It is going to be there at least for your mind. You are going to be in favorable situations, and definitely you are going to be in unfavorable situations as well. But we always have to have this in my mind. Agama payinaha anityaha. They all are going to be transient. They all are going to be temporary. If you have means to change the unfavorable situation, by all means try to change that situation. But if you cannot change those situations, tasmat apariharyete. Pariharam means, trying to change the situation. There are some situations, it does not matter how much ever you try, you cannot change some situations. Things will go beyond your control. What to do in those stages? Do not go on complaining, because if you go on complaining, it is not only good, it is not going to be good for you, and it is more importantly, it is not going to be good for the people that are surrounding yourselves. Yes, it is summer, there is going to be a heat wave, but unfortunately my AC is out, and that repair guy is not going to come because Saturday, Sunday is a weekend. You have two options. Either you can try to repair that AC by yourself, or you can go to a mall. If nothing is happening, you stay in your house. But if you keep on complaining, you are going to be agitated. You are going to make others that are staying with you going to be agitated as well. That's what Krishna says. Tam sthitiksha bharata. Have some porumai, porumai, porumai. Stitiksha means porumai. Have some patience. Sitoshnadi vishahyatam. Maintain equanimity in all the situations. Natu vritha vakyam samucharyatam. He is advising you avoid unnecessary speech. Most of the problems that we have are because of unnecessary speech. தீயினால் சுட்டப்புண் உள்ளாரும் ஆறாதே நாவினால் சுட்டவடு. We speak, we all like to speak, but unfortunately most of the things that we speak are going to be unnecessary. It is going to be gossip, it is going to be hurting others. So do not, do not indulge in all those bad practices. Natu vritha vakyam samucharyatam. Our speech is very, very important. Only, if you have a gold or if you have a diamond jewel, we don't wear that diamond jewel all the time, right? Only, okay, I'm going to a marriage, I will wear the diamond harem, or I will wear the diamond necklace, go to marriage. If I keep on wearing that diamond necklace for my day-to-day use, it is going to lose its value. Nobody is going to say, wow, your necklace looks so nice. Nobody is going to say that. Only if you wear it at the appropriate time, people are going to be, so happy and so surprised to see that necklace. In the same way, our speech is as valuable as that diamond necklace. If I go on speaking, it is like, giving diamonds to all the people who are going to come. And we know supply versus demand. If there is going to be a lot of supply and no demand, the thing is going to lose its value. So our speech, first we have to consider our speech as very valuable. First, we have to consider, we have to be convinced such that, and then we have to give our speech to others. Remember Krishna. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, the whole first chapter, Arjuna did not, only Arjuna spoke, Krishna did not even speak. Only when it's Krishna's turn to speak, Bhagavan Uvacha Shochan Anvashochastam Prajnavadamsta Bhashase, he is advising Arjuna only after Arjuna has asked for Krishna's advice. So whatever speech that we give, whatever the ideas, concepts that we want to convey, remember it also concerns with the other person. If the other person is not accepting those ideas, if the other person is not receptive of those things, it is as good as going to dustbin. Remember, our speech, our ideas are not worthy of going into dustbin. If the other person is not accepting, it is as good as going into trash can. So natu vritha vakyam samucharyatam. And audasinyam abhipsyatam. Be indifferent to all those things that happens. What is meant by being indifferent? It means the time between reacting to an unfavorable situation from what to so what. Something bad has happened. Our first response is what? And then slowly we will say, so what? And this is what Acharya says, Audasinyam Abhipsatam. If you can change that situation, you can change it. If I cannot change it, it doesn't concern to me if US is going to, if Israel and Iran is going to fight, because whatever I think, it is not going to make any difference. Why think about those things? I can at least think about Aham Brahmasmi, or I can at least chant Ramanama. So be indifferent. Be different, be indifferent. And Janakripa naishthurya mutsrijyatam. Never let anybody disturb you. It means never give your key to happiness into anybody else. You hold your key to happiness. Happiness is the most precious thing that we have. We will never give our bank locker keys to somebody else, right? In the same way, happiness is more, if not as important as your bank locker. Never give keys of your happiness to other people. Janakripa naishturya mutsrijyatam. Okay, I attained jnanam and my banyan tree has grown very, very large enough so that it is not disturbed by any natural or unnatural forces. What is going to be my phalam? In the fifth shloka, the whole phalam of Jnana Yoga, the whole phalam of Vedanta is being talked about. What does Acharya say? Ekante sukhamasyatam paratare chetas samadhiyatam purnatma susamikshyatam jagaditam tadbhaditam drisyatam prakkarma pravilapyatam chitibalan napyuttarai srishyatam प्रारब्धम द्विह प्रारब्धम तु इह भुज्यताम अतः परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम. What does he say? Ekante sukhamasyatam. I understood that I alone is the constant thing that is happening in this universe, and other than me, when I say I, when I say me, it does not refer to my sthula, sukshma or karana sharira. It refers to my nature as Brahman. It refers to my Atman. That is very, very important. Understanding that concept is very, very important. Understand that myself as Atman is the only thing that is an eternal source of happiness, that is a nuclear power generator of happiness. So I, being myself, derive my own happiness. I, being with myself, enjoy my own happiness. Ekante sukhamasyatam. So if I am constant, then the happiness is also going to be constant. If I derive happiness from my TV, or if I derive happiness from my computer, let's say, if that is going to be the case, then I'm going to lose happiness when there is going to be an internet cut, an internet blackout, or I will lose my happiness when there is going to be a power blackout, because the source of happiness is going to be temporary. But if my own self is the source of my own happiness, then I am permanent. I am as Atma is permanent. So I am going to be an uninterrupted power supply, UPS of happiness. Ekante sukhamasyatam paratare chetas samadhiyatam. Paratare chetaha samadhiyatam. Fix your mind in the supreme self. Always fix your mind in the Atma Tattvam. Purnatma susamikshyatam. See yourself as Atma Tattvam. Do not learn Vedanta by thinking about Brahman as a separate entity. We have to own up Brahman. And what is the nature of that Brahman? Purna Atma. Nothing to be desired, because I myself have everything. Purnatma susamikshitam jagadidam tadbhatitam drishyatam. We think this entire world is the source of my happiness, but in reality, I am the source of happiness onto which the entire world depend upon. Before Vedanta, we think the world is the source of happiness and we depend upon this world for happiness. But after learning Vedanta, I understand that I am the source of happiness and the whole world depend upon me for its existence, for its happiness. Mayeva sakalam jatam, mayi sarvam pratishtitam, mayi sarvam layam yanti, tad brahmadmayam asmyaham. Says beautiful Upanishad Vakya. Understand that Jagaditam Tadbhaditam Drishyatam Prakarma Pravilapyatam chitibalanapyuttarayirslishyataam, prarabdham tviha bujyatam. These three are referring to our karma. Normally, Shastra says we have three types of karma. One is called as sanchita karma. The second is called as prarabdha karma. The third is called as agami karma. What is sanchita karma? Sanchita karma is our sum total of all the karmas that we have. This is like our bank account, our checking account. Whatever money I get, I dump onto that checking account. And what is prarabdha karma? Prarabdha karma is like that limit that you have on your debit card. I have $5,000 limit on my debit card. I go to shopping. I can only spend $5,000 a day. In the same way, I have total karma that I have accumulated from so many janmas. And I take a debit card of $5,000 in order to spend in this janma. Like in order to spend in this janma, I take a part of that karma. Bhagavan has said, okay, you have got 5,000 karma points to be enjoyed. If you have done punya, if you have done papa, it does not matter. Both punyam and papam, they all will add into that account. So in this janma, I'm going to enjoy that $5,000. Like in this today, I'm going to take the debit card worthy of $5,000. And if that $5,000 is gone, that is it. I cannot spend any more for that day, right? In the same way, if my prarabdha karma is done, then I will lose this body. I have to take another body, where in that body I will take some more from the sanchita karma and I will spend. But the problem is, while spending that karma, while spending the prarabdha karma, I will also accumulate more karma, and that karma is called as agami karma. Remember that movie Arunachalam. In that Arunachalam movie, there is going to be some 500 crores the father Rajinikanth has left for the son Rajinikanth. And the son Rajinikanth has to spend 30 crores in 30 days. That 30 crores in 30 days is like prarabdha karma. And while spending that 30 crores, he is going to earn more money. If he earns more money, that more money is agami karma. So these three are the three different karmas. And Shastra says, once you get jnanam, what happens is your sanchita karma will be completely destroyed. Your checking account will be zero. But still you will have, the debit card will have 5,000 limit. That is going to be still there. But your checking account, all the money will be gone. Only money that you have is the amount you are left with your debit card. And the agami karma, you will not going to have any new agami karma, because you have attained jnana, you have attained, you know that aham brahmasmi, you have attained that brahma jnana. So you will not have any more karma. So whatever the karma that you have is whatever the money that you have on your debit card. That $5,000 is the only karma that you have got, and that karma has to be spent. So of these three karmas, sanchita, prarabdha and agami, sanchita is going to be completely destroyed. Agami, there is no way of getting more agami karma. Only the prarabdha karma, you have to spend it. And the prarabdha karma will be good. The prarabdha karma can also be bad. But if you spend all the prarabdha karma in this janma itself, you don't even have to take another janma in order to spend your prarabdha karma. That is why if we see all the Atma Jnanis, they all will have had some problems in their life. Ramana Maharshi had got cancer, and Ramana Maharshi did not complain. He said, this is my prarabdham. I have to spend that prarabdham so that I am not going to have any more janma. So with that attitude, just spend the prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma, if you have lot of punyam, you are going to enjoy sukham. If you have both punyam and papam, for punyam part, you will enjoy that sukham. For the papam part, there is going to be some dukkham, but it does not matter, because you have stopped identifying yourself with the body. That's what here Acharya says. Prakarma pravilapyatam. your sanchita karma, let it be dissolved. Jnana agni dhagda sarvanam. Jnana agni dhagda sarva karmanam, says Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita. All your, because you got Atma Jnanam, your sanchita karma is going to be dissolved in that Atma Jnanam. Chitibalan napyuttarayir slishyatam. Your agami karma, you are not going to get any of your agami karma, because you have identified yourself with Atma as Akarta, Abhokta. You will not have any Kartrutvam. You will not have any association with the karmas to come. But the only thing that you have to go through is what? Prarabdham. And Acharya says, Prarabdham tu iha bujjatam. Deplete your prarabdha karma by going through the sukha and dukkha that are associated with the prarabdha karma. And if you have done all these things, at the end of your prarabdha karma, the body is going to go away. Atha parabrahmatmana sthiyatam. After losing your body, after depleting your prarabdha karma, you will remain eternally in Brahman, and that process is called as Videha Mukti. These are the Sadhana Panchaka or Sopana Panchaka Stotram Shlokam of Adi Shankaracharya. Beautifully he says, what are all the things to be done? Let us take this as an opportunity to recheck our own self. Okay, what are all the things that I have achieved? What are all the things that are yet to come? And how to efficiently go through all these things. With this, we will finish today's class. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.